Okay, it is more Italian league, and it is Perugia versus Lube. I've been waiting to watch this one until I got time, and I'm excited for it. Should be a real good game. Lube loses to Perugia in five. This is playoffs. You guys should know the teams. If you don't, then you're kind of behind. But I'll run through it real quick. Chignese, French middle. Lepke, Canadian outside. Boninfante, the setter. He's Italian, probably. Um, Nikolov, where's he from? Is it Bulgaria? Bulgaria, I think. Lagumgia, Turkey, right side. Um, Dirlich, I can't remember. Marco, pretty sure he's Serbian. Bartolo, Italian outside. Gianelli, the Italian setter. Herrera from Cuba, lefty right side. Lucer, Argentinian middle. Bentara, Tunisia, right side. Soleil, middle. Ishikawa, Japanese, outside. He only played a little bit. Looks like he just kind of back row or maybe front row spec, who knows. Semeniuk and Plotnytski on the outside. Plotnytski, you already know. He's from Ukraine. Semeniuk from Poland. Bunch of ballers. Stacked teams. These are probably two of the best teams in Italy. They're going at it. And, so Nikolov and Bartolo are on the outside here. And again, Lube runs that pipe so well. And honestly, I think these two teams are some of the best two teams at running the pipe, like consistently in their offense. So I'm excited to see this. And you see Plotnytski runs inside a little bit there, and then kind of has to jump outward. But yeah, honestly, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. But again, the pipe. This is why in transition it needs to be a really good option, because especially if something like this happens too, where this middle, you see Lucero all the way over here, and then boom, it's quick. He's not able to get all the way over, and then he's alone. And also, I feel like a big part of why the pipe is so important in transition is because the pin hitters leave early almost every time in transition. When you're serving and playing defense, I feel like outsides can be pretty disciplined on it. But once it turns into a transition play where it's in the middle of the rally, dude, they give up on it so quick. They give up on it very, very quickly. Gianelli almost gets the dig there, but he just pops it too much. And again, these guys are just running the pipe smoothly. And he might be over there. He might be on the line. I don't know if they call it or not. They obviously don't call it, but what's happening? Wow, Lube scores. Who gets this dig here? Let's see. Okay, so off his leg, off his foot, off his leg. That's 4 touches there. That's 5 touches right there. This is 5 touches right here, I think. Let's look at this real quick. Okay, but again, beautiful run on the pipe here again. And just having this spacing of the court where it's right here, passes perfectly in the middle of the court, 2 routes on each side. Oh, it's beautifully spaced. And then this guy has to decide where he's going pretty much. And then there's just nobody up there. But yeah, I think this is 5 touches. So off the leg of Lagumgia, then off the foot of Bartolo, then off the leg of Lagumgia, and then Boninfante puts it up. Nikolov takes a swing. That's 5 contacts. That's crazy. But hey, again, the refs are going to mess some stuff up sometimes, man. Semeniuk out of system. And I like this better than a lot of the stuff that he does out of system, because, his path, he's keeping his body weight and his momentum behind the ball, and it's a lot better. And I don't know if he just misses the hands there or what, maybe just a missed contact. But I really like his approach there. I think it's much better than him going sideways sometimes. And look at how calm Bentara is in these steps here. From this step to this step to this step. He's all calm. It's calm, calm, calm until those final 2 steps that are just aggressive and explosive. And it's a quick run. He just blasts it across. It's beautiful. It's good stuff. Bartolo dimes it. Bang. Right through there. Right, ripped it. Absolute ripper. Down the line. I think it missed it, but still. Oh, no, he got the line. Bentara back to serve. Inbounds. And, this is a really tough serve, too. And it's hard to control this, and it's hard to really get comfortable with this. But hitting your spin serve deep in the court, I think it's a very, very good thing. Like having it go towards that back line is huge because first of all, it can kind of surprise people high. People pass way worse when that ball is high towards their chest and stuff. Also, like the reverse is also true, where people pass better when they're passing the ball in front of them. Two things right here. Okay, with this middle here, it's out of system. There's only one option. He should be closing this block with his feet, getting his feet right next to Plotnytski here, jumping straight up, instead of diving like this and having it close with his hands. Because when he does this, he's not able to press either one of his hands good, like well over the net, But then also he just gives up that cross, and then Lagumdzija scores there. Yeah. So let's watch this back. It's a solo option. There's only one option. He's front row, so the only option is to go right side to Lagumdzija, and he's back row. But then he just doesn't get his feet close enough, and then he has to drift, and he has to close with his arms. That right there is not an ideal block move. Okay. Anyways, let's continue. I haven't had coffee on a video in a while. Dude, Plotnytski is just disciplined with how he swings high. He's undersized. I mean, his vertical is crazy, so that kind of definitely compensates for it. But again, he doesn't swing down into the block that often. He's just going off the hands constantly. Pavilion class of 2020, baby. Junior USA. And I don't know, I remember watching, I was talking to some of my teammates about Perugia, and I was mentioning that I just think that they don't use Lube. And I don't think they use Chinyese enough, but wow, this is a really nice swing. Let me take another look at this. Okay, it's really really weird. But look at how he hustles here, okay? Although it's a weird situation, he knows he's not taking that second ball, so he gets off just in case. Ball's decent. He's able to just step close, jump, swing to a deep corner. And even though he's off the net and the guys in the back row here were they know that he's swinging, they know they're swinging at him. Since it went deep in the court, it's just difficult to dig. And this is why I'm drinking a coffee, man. I'm still yawning. Even though I'm drinking a coffee, I'm yawning right now. That's crazy. But yeah, Chinyese, I like Chinyese. I mean, he's a winner too. He's a gold medalist. He knows what he's doing. I don't mind that little adjustment here. It's obviously weird. It's obviously a little bit of a missed window. He can't take a big rip at it, but he keeps it in. Chooses to still do something where he puts them under pressure a little bit there. And just a good defensive move by Plotnytski. Put it high right on the top of the setter side. Good for him. But this is what I'm talking about, Plotnytski doesn't do this, okay? But Bentara touches way higher than Plotnytski, okay? But then he contacts the ball up here, but then where does this ball go? It's hard to see because it's moving so fast. But he brings that ball from here to here within one frame, okay? That difference is going to make you get blocked, just like this. And, it's a good block move because look at how this middle is okay with being late here. Okay, he waits, he sees where it's going, makes his move. As Bentara is hitting it, he's just getting his hands over the net. And then he just presses over the net, shapes his hands, boom, it's a block. And again, that's why you need to be okay with being patient, as a middle blocker, you need to be patient and then learn how to make fast moves, okay? Because in system, you're going to very much need to do that. And in system, you're not going to be able to make huge, massive jump moves unless you're really, really quick. If your footwork is extremely fast, yeah, then you'll be able to do whatever the heck you want. But that's what I'm saying is your footwork needs to be fast, and you need to learn how to Be patient so that you can use your fast footwork instead of being wrong, you know? It's much easier to learn how to be quicker than it is to learn how to read a setter perfectly. Good swing here. Love it. And again, it's just that, okay, it's here. Off of that, it's just 2 steps, 1, 2. He jumps, and then he takes a good swing toward the line. He takes some sort of angle, okay? It's a disciplined swing. He's not swinging towards the 6. He's not swinging towards the 6 just because, it's a weird situation. Yeah. He still does something good. He still makes a good decision there. Lagom G has played well so far. He's doing some good things. Scrappy, man. Scrappy. I love it. Bonifante just getting his shoulder, and then Chinyese pops the ball up, and they keep the ball alive. And now they have a chance. Now that play is still going, you know. But then, I mean, it's tough. It's tough because they have 4 options there. It's tough, of course. But this is what I'm talking about. Look at Chinyese here. And I'm not saying he shouldn't guess here. Okay, well, he shouldn't. I don't know. If his strategy, if his tactic tells him to commit on this, if it tells him to commit on the middle on perfect passes, then he should be doing what he did, where he just goes early, gets up there, gets on the middle. But like right here, when he guesses, this is what I'm talking about, is like if he guesses, then he is sold out and he can no longer go help on Bentara, you know? And like if he, I don't know, sometimes you should trust your gut. But like hopefully you can back your gut up with logic, if that makes sense. Like if you have a gut feeling they're going to set the middle, but in that same rotation they've only set the outside for 5 times in a row, then your gut is just stupid. Like try and use logic to back up what your gut feelings are, okay? And like look at how he rounds his approach out here, you know? Shoot, what happened to my hand? Anyways. And then he's jumping from here. He's jumping from there. And then he's jumping backwards. You know, maybe it's just a missed window. I'm not really sure. But I don't know. He's coming into the court. And then it's kind of weird to keep that ball in front of him, if that makes sense. You know? I don't know. He obviously jumped backwards and leaned backwards so that he could get behind that ball, you know, and take a good swing. But yeah, both these teams do an incredible job using the pipe. And I don't know what the percentages are on using the pipe, but honestly, like it's beautiful. It's amazing. I love the pipe, man. The pipe is by far my favorite thing to use. And so I got home, and right before I left, like we had one more game, and then after the game we went and had like a little final party, you know, a little get together. And when I was saying goodbye to my setter, he was like, "Dude, it was so fun being able to run the pipe consistently." And it was like, "Oh, dude, this is my favorite thing to do." Like, yeah, I would hit the pipe every single time if I needed to, if I was called to, even if I'm swinging against a triple block. I don't care. I love the pipe, man. Love my chances. It's in front of me. It's at my peak. I got a full lane. Nothing's stopping me. I can just jump as far forward as I need to. Come on, let me cook. Yeah. And again, like this type of thing here, especially if you are someone who's contacting the ball at a very high point, then this tip, if you can do it quick, you know, like look how quick he does it. Look how he's here, and then like as he's swinging, he brings his hand down and tips it. But like if you're someone who's contacting it high, look at how these guys are all reaching up high. That means that there's space between their arms and the net. Okay, if they're reaching really high. If they're reaching really low because, I don't know, you're short or something, then that tip isn't going to work because they're pressed forward. But if they're reached up like this, then there's going to be a little bit of space in between their arms and net, and then the ball's going to be able to go in through like this, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. I don't know. I've got coffee today, so I might be blabbing about nonsense today. I don't know. We'll see. Herrera. That's a tough serve to try and handle. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. I like this defense by Plotnytski. Not bad at all. I mean, it's kind of suicide, but let's see here. Yeah, no, I don't mind this move, this block move here. This is a good move. He's patient here. He kind of loads. He loads, but it's not only a load to jump. It's a load so that he can do everything. Like he could have jumped there, but it's also a load so that he can push off and go this way. You know what I mean? And then he's late, but look how quick he makes look at how quick his footwork is. Quick, and then he's jumping quick. Okay? And it's just a good swing by Nikolov. It's a really good swing by Nikolov. Plotnytski just pops it a little bit out of bounds, Especially at this level, you're going to be making good moves. You're going to be making the right decisions, and it still doesn't work out sometimes, okay? Like, that's a good move by Gianelli. And look at how through the entire block move, he's pressed. Even though he's like diving line, he's still pressed. It's not here to here to here. It's here to here. It's you're pressed and you're pressed while you're making the move, while you're diving, I love it though. And it doesn't have to be super extreme, because you don't want to lose height on it. But it depends on who you're blocking, Let's see this ace one more time. Yeah. I just want to see this. And this is like, I don't know, serve receives interesting, man, because like you can talk about the serious fundamentals when it comes to serve receive. Like you could be very strict and hold your platform every time and do this and that, whatever. But then there's going to be someone on the French team who just throws their hands into it and it works out for them, I don't know. The only underlying thing that is a necessity constantly, always, is that you have the right angle when it contacts you, okay? Yeah, and honestly, I like this whole thing that they do here. Like they have Ventar run all the way around, but then he's like almost a back row hitter, like I love it. I honestly love it because like, let's see what they do. I think they kind of shift just a step over as well, but I don't know. Good for them. Yeah, that's a really nice run by Perugia, honestly. Like, they have a very fluent offense, very talented offense. Plotnytski, man. Plotnytski gets caught swinging down a little bit here, which off the pipe it's a little bit different, but like if this is why you need to make sure that you're swinging deep into the court, no matter what you're doing, deep into the court, because like even though these blocks aren't that big, especially since he's back row, he doesn't have that room, Like if he swings towards one of the corners, it's probably hitting someone's hands or just going through them or over them, But yeah, I love this by Lucer. Look at how he tracks the ball too. He sees where the pass is. He's tracking the pass, and then he knows he tracks the ball for a while. Okay, he tracks the ball for a while, figures out where that ball is, and then he goes and finds his setter. Not too early, and then he knows like that approach is perfect. It's perfect. It's a perfect approach, and then he's up there, bang, takes a great swing. Like you need to know where the pass is, because like you could have a setter who's running forward, they could change a little bit of their pace. If you're only watching the setter and they change their pace at all when they're running towards the ball, then you're screwed. So you got to track the ball, see where that ball is, because the setter will go to the ball, okay? If that makes sense. And it's the same thing with blocking too. Like if you're blocking, let's say an out-of-system ball, in system too, but let's just say out-of-system because you have more time. Beautiful swing there. Beautiful swing. I just want to see that one more time. But if you're blocking an out-of-system ball and you're watching the hitter, let's see if there's an out-of-system ball I can give you an example of. Okay, because when you're blocking, you need to get your feet to the ball. Because guess where the hitter's going to go? The hitter's going to go to the ball. Okay, the hitter can change direction. But while that ball is in the air, the ball doesn't have a mind of its own, you know? Like, it's going to keep going just based on gravity and the physics that are affecting it, you know? And then the hitter is going to find where the ball is, okay? So, I don't know. I had a coach trying to tell us to watch the hitter the entire time, but then you could get an out-of-system ball, like, where he's here, but then he just gets his feet there quick, and then who knows, you're late. You know, like, if you see someone move their feet inside really quickly, dude, then you're getting juked, and then they're bouncing a ball. Like, it just doesn't make sense. So get your feet to the ball, not to the hitter, because the hitter has to get to the ball. It's pretty simple. I don't know. Some coaches might be wrong with it, about it. Who knows? I had something earlier today. Oh, yeah. I mean, so many youth coaches tell young players, like, never take your eyes off the ball. I don't think that's always true, you know, because if you maintaining your eye contact to the ball, it's a beautiful bounce here. Good chow, you know? But if you keeping, like, still looking at the ball stops you from scoring or whatever, then come on. Like, you know. But those are the exceptions to the rule. Like, yeah, most of the time you're going to be looking at the ball because that's where the information is. But, like, yeah, maybe you just keep the ball in your periphery, you know? Like, watch the hitter, but then keep the ball in your periphery, you know? Keep track of the ball. But keeping track of the ball doesn't need to mean, like, intently looking at the ball the entire time. Like, fully looking at the ball and only the ball. Like, having that be your main focus, yeah. You know, and, like, with these routes that they run, the, like, over-the-top type of route, what they do is they have the contact points where they're jumping. Obviously, the pipe is a little bit slower and a little bit later, but, like, this, it's the same. It's in the same lane that they're jumping, and then that pipe guy just drifts into it, and that middle just drifts out of it. You know, like, it's very interesting. I like it though. I mean, it's obviously pretty deceptive. It works pretty well. It's just interesting. Ishikawa's in here for a blocking and front row sub for Plotnytski. Good job. Good job by Ishikawa to get his hands on that ball and not get tipped on there. Ooh. Yeah, it's a nice block. It's a really nice block, man. Bonifante reaching high, ceiling high. And, like, when I say ceiling high, like, you can reach high, but then still pressing enough to where if it hits you, it's going on that side instead of getting tooled and stuff, you know? Like, that's what I mean when I say ceiling high, like, whether it's ceiling high line, ceiling high cross, whatever it might be, you know, where you're reaching pretty high and you're blocking a pretty high point, but, like, not to the point where you're reaching only upward and you would get tooled, if that makes sense. Yeah, Bentara was over there. Let's see here. Yeah, man, it's beautiful. I mean, it's interesting because Marco guesses and goes to Bentara here. He's going before Gianelli even contacts it, okay? And that's what I'm saying. It's like, I mean, if he's releasing, cool, whatever. If his whole tactic is like, no matter where you are, it's definitely going to him, whatever. Obviously, it didn't, but yeah, like, if he guesses like that, then he's screwed, and Bonafante's alone. Good dig by Lagrangia there, but let's look at this again. I just want to see this offense again because it's interesting that he went to Bentara because let's just say Semeniuk is on the half line, okay? That means that he has 3 options over here and 1 option over here on this half of the court. But yeah, he chooses to go on that one. I don't know. Not sure. Lagumgia, really good dig there by Lagumgia. Really nice tip by Lucer here. I love it. And you know, like with tips and stuff, for middles, it has to be such a quick decision. You know, it's honestly tough, but it's nice. Good for Bentara. This is something I struggle to do. Is okay, I'm not blocking this guy anymore. I gotta turn and cover these tips and cover that instead of making my back row guy get it. But again, Ishikawa swings high, gets it. But like this is what I'm talking about. Like if you're looking at him, when he goes like this and just dives inside and jumps from here to here really quickly, if you're not tracking the ball and knowing where he's going to be jumping, then you're screwed. You're giving yourself late information instead of just seeing the current information, if that makes sense. You know? You're going to get left in the dust constantly. Oh, this is nice. This is a really nice little semi-tempo, you know, like it's still, like obviously it's not the best pass. It's a 2-pass, I'd say. And then it's like a semi, you know, like, oh, it's beautiful. I love it. It's very nice. Oh, hello. Plotnytski. Gotta say, this is a very unpredictable ball here, man. Look at how it curves that way. That's crazy. I don't blame him for getting hit. If I'm being completely honest, I don't blame him. That's crazy. Good for Plotnytski being able to come in and serve right off the bat, though. Let's see, we've got 24-18, second set. Oof, Lagumji almost gets bopped again. All right, third set, going into it. We got Bentara back there serving it up. 2-pass, middle's still somewhat an option. And, you know, like, I like this. I really like this bad Lucer here, okay? He's neutral, okay? But then pass gets moved backward. He just takes one dedication step. Just shuffles over a little bit, okay? He's starting here, and then takes a shuffle or two. And then he's neutral again, ready to go wherever. Relaxed, hits a split step, hits his move. And this is why it's still a nice tempo. But like maybe he could just be quicker from here. I think he just kind of waited because he couldn't tell if it was to the middle or not, and then he's a little bit late there. A little bit late. Not much. When it's crossing that, he's almost at his peak. It's a good swing by Nikolov. Good choice. A little OT, choppy. I mean, I think he was trying to go for the line seam, but it went to the 6. This is, yeah, like this right here. I'd say this is a better guess by Marco because there's 3 options, very much so clumped over here, and then it's Bentara alone and very far from him. It's just a really nice swing by Bentara. And look how he follows through with his arm here. Like he's trying to get it, and look how his arm just travels through and, you know, like follows that path, you know. So it's nice. Pretty good move, honestly. That's a full diving move. Hits a hard split step, makes a decent angle, keeps the ball alive there. Lagumgia. You know, like look at how he still, like he doesn't turn and face the ball the whole time while he's doing this. You know, like he's still facing the net and keeping that ball, and then he just gets that ball in front of him so he can still jump forward instead of jumping sideways and stuff like that, and he takes it down the line. That's really nice. This is impressive to me. This is very impressive to me because, like, this is, like, I would find it hard to believe that he can see this ball perfectly. Like, if he's going like this, then he's, like, taking athleticism away. But if he's looking like this and he, like, knows where it's going to be and he can track it by going like this, you know, like, he can still face here and just not stop any of his athleticism. I don't know, it's pretty impressive to me. Who knows, maybe other people, it's like, oh, bro, that's easy. I don't know, that seems pretty hard to me. Seems kind of rare to me. Down the line again. Good choice by somebody to just chill in that corner. And, this I've said this before, but if you're doing something like this, try and go while they're on their way down. That's just a good move by Balo. But, yeah, and then, when you're doing this, try to go quick. Try to go quick so they don't have time to react. Because if they have time to react and grab that ball, you're kind of lowering your odds of doing something good there. Let me try my phone outside. Let's keep going. Marco back to serve. Plotnytski on the net. Let's see. Kachow. Yeah. Perfect pass. Good offense. He's just ripping the ball. It's good stuff. Yeah, and I don't know, Bonifante, he's too small to be trying to help on this middle, if I'm being honest. So he just kind of has to go up and make a good move on Plotnytski. Because if I'm Gianelli there, I'm probably going to try and attack that mismatch. Most teams probably would. But Beautiful, beautiful choice here. And look how he just gets it outside of where the blocker is too, and then just taps it through. Yeah, I love that. I want to see this again. Sorry, guys. I just want to see it one more time. Approaches into the court. So it's interesting because he approaches into the court, and then he just approaches past the ball. He approaches too far inside and lets it kind of travel further out. You know what I mean? Oh, shoot. Who got hurt? Oh, my gosh. Oh, my goodness. I didn't even see someone got hurt. Gianelli hurts his hip here or what? Oh, he just probably banged it on the floor. He's all right. He's fine. But, yeah, that's a little interesting tidbit to make sure you can know how to do that kind of stuff. Because, that's something I've not really thought about when I'm doing that, trying to do that type of thing, either the lefty tip, or where I'm pressing it like he did with two hands. And again, communication is important because Nikolov's approaching inside the court there. Not completely sure why. And then, oh, hello, look at that ankle. Oh, my. Oof, that's sketchy. Good for him. Hey, by the way, do some ankle rehab as a volleyball athlete, okay? Because ankles are terrifying. They're usually pretty weak, but you can get to a point where, I saw Wembanyama doing stuff before an NBA game where he was doing a bunch of toe exercises and ankle exercises and this and that, and then he twists his ankle in the game, and he's chilling, and then he gets right back up, pops up, keeps playing. It's durability, ankle durability. This is what I'm talking about, man. When I say, you have to have a feel of where you are along the net so that you know who you would be kind of right in front of. But he fakes out Marco here, acting like he's going to dump it. And it's just a subtle thing. It's just a small little thing. See how he approaches like this? He approaches real hard. He approaches aggressively. Look how his hands here. He drops one of his hands like he's going to go like this. Okay, you see my hands? And then he keeps going, hits the middle. Okay, again, he fakes this guy out. He gets this guy to jump. So guess who he sets? He sets this guy. He sets Lucero. He sets the middle. Okay, he gets the middle of the jump, so he sets the middle. If you get the outside to jump, you set the right side. If you get the right side to jump, you set the outside. Good job. It's pretty simple. And it makes a big difference. It really does. It just gives them, if you're getting somebody to jump, usually it's a pretty good chance that you're scoring anyways, but it just increases your odds a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit, Gianelli serving out. Now we're serving out because it's the third set and we don't feel like serving. Ooh, good save by Gianelli. Again, just understanding where the ball is, tracking the ball as much as you can. Some people will, some coaches will tell you, never watch the server, but I disagree. You're giving yourself more information earlier if you're watching the server, and also with how hard some of these guys are serving. Why wouldn't you just be looking? I don't know. But I don't know. If I look at these guys, let me see if on certain spin servers none of these guys are looking. Maybe I'm wrong, But I don't know. I don't think it really makes that big of a difference. I would rather look so that I know that nobody's popping me in the back of the head, but I don't know. Like this right here. If I'm only looking at him, I can't tell where he's going until he's there. And then I can't locate my block, you know. Good swing by Semeniuk there. Takes a good rip. Bang. Don't be scared on overpasses, man. Be aggressive on overpasses. Learn how to have your footwork like this, where you're up in the net and then you jump off, you jump backwards, and still jump forward. You know, like get your body weight, control your body weight, still take an aggressive swing. You know, because at this point when they're overpassing this, these guys are at a huge disadvantage. Nobody's up there at the block. Nobody's ready to cover that tight ball. Look at Marco. He has to run up and jump forward and do this weird little banana-looking move. Like, yeah. Come on, man. Be aggressive on overpasses, man. Even if there's a front row setter, think about it logically. That's a solo block. Okay? Usually people score on a solo block. Setters will bust their hump to try and get you a solo block. So, bro, when it's a front row setter, you don't have to just be like, okay, I just have to pass this ball. No, you can still be aggressive. You just have to be smart. Okay, you just have to be smart so that you're not doing something like this, where you're just dumping it right into Gianelli's hands. And like again, just play awareness, understanding that he can just step in and set Plotnytski immediately. That's probably good communication. Gianelli was probably saying, hey, set, you know, whatever. But communicate through the plays, understand the plays. Like if you're Bentara there, understand, okay, that's probably a pass that I got to do something good, you know. Ooh, Herrera. And like look at how Herrera gets on his heels here. That's something I don't really like, because then some weird stuff, it's a weird tip, and then he's on his heels and he has to do this and just fall, and he can't get his weight behind him. His weight is already rocked back, so he can't get behind, you know, he can't change his stuff, you know. Very nice. I like how high they're passing these balls too. Like that's really nice. Oh shoot, I just remembered. So now that I'm home, I'm gonna go practice with my old college team. Oh, hello. That's a crazy block. Look at how high he is. He seals it high. He seals that high ball. The only thing I would say is try to have your arms be working together, but still, I mean, if it works, it works. That's a crazy block. Anyways, I'm going back to practice with my college team tonight, and like overseas, once it hits the ceiling, then the play's over. But we have a very low ceiling at Damon. We call her Gloria. And, yeah, so it's going to be bobbling in the ceiling, and I got to make sure I remember how to deal with that, you know, because I haven't had to deal with that in a long time. Again, the same thing, like they're both jumping in the same lane, and then this outside's just jumping at an angle, so they're jumping out of the lane. You know, like they're jumping, their feet are in the same lane, but then where they land is different. You know what I mean? It's very interesting, and it really is deceptive, because it almost passes over the same exact thing. Like it's just such a very small difference. Oh, try that out with your club team. You know, ask your coach though. Ask your coach what you think. I mean, this is just what Perugia does. I don't know. Let me see if Lube gets an opportunity to go over top like that. Because who knows? Maybe they don't do it the same way. A lot of teams probably do it differently, but that's just how Perugia does it. And I mean, it seems like it works pretty well. A lot of the time though, it matters. It just mostly matters what the setter is comfortable with, because if the setter is not comfortable setting that certain ball, whatever it may be, then you got to run it a different way. You got to do what they're comfortable with, and then just try and optimize that. Really nice there. Real nice. Gianelli takes care of it. Oh, yeah. You got to be fluent here. Either communicate through it, or practice that enough where you already know what's going to happen, you know? Ooh, this is crazy. This is getting a little bit weird now. And this is why, like, you really need to make sure you're pressing forward, because a stupid tip right into the block like this could work. Like, look at where Lepke's hands are. He's literally reaching high. Like, he's literally... It's tough because when they go tip, you want to kind of pull your hands away so that you can do this, but it just depends on the tip too. So, you know, maybe knowing what that player does, because if they're a player that tries to go over the top, tips over the top like that, then going like this and then trying to grab the ball, beautiful. But if they're a player who tries to tip down into the block, like dunks it, you know, then you got to press as hard as you can and then try and slap. It's a very different thing. So, beautiful dive here. Oh, yeah, and Lucero just swings straight forward instead of going with the angle there. Really good grab. Wow. And look at how he finishes his hand here. Okay, he gets his hand over to this angle and then just keeps reaching and then flicks into the court here, finishes his hand into it. Beautiful, beautiful block. You know, like I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know. If you're a moving target, it's so much harder to use you. Okay? You know, like the whole reason why it's called a tool is because they're using you. They're using you to score the point. Okay? So, like, if you're making it very difficult for them, again, same thing. They're both contact. They're jumping from pretty much the same spot, and then somebody just jumps over. But yeah, like if you're moving and like finishing your hands a certain way so that it's much harder to use you, then yeah, it's just beautiful, 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 beautiful. Just kind of adds a little bit to it. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, so if the player kind of does something like this where they kind of tip high and go over, then you want to kind of pull your hands like this and just have active hands. And you might get a block like that. Who knows? But then if it's a tip where they're like dunking it, then pressing is much better. You know, Lepke. You know, and I mean, even though he's late and he's barely up there, only his wrists and hands are over the net pretty much. He's still pressing over the net so that if he gets hit, boom, he gets a block. You know, so like, again, I've said this many times, but what happens if you get hit? You know, like, that's how you should be grading your own blocks. You know, like, what happens if you get hit? Because against good hitters, they could just go around you, even if you make an incredibly good move. But if they hit you, then what happens, you know? You know, it's because it's hard to have that mindset of, I'm going to force this guy to go into my block. You know, it's kind of hard because, yeah, a lot of people can look like they're swinging line and then pop across and stuff like that. So, I don't know. There's some weird stuff there. But I like this angle by Bartolo here. Yeah, I love that. And I like how he just he opens. It's like the same principle of when that ball gets moved off the net, that middle needs to open himself up so that he can hit the ball. It's the same principle as an outside here. That ball gets pushed off the net here, gets a little bit closer to him. He opens himself up, and he's facing the ball a little bit more, and that sharp cross is much easier to hit. You know, when that ball gets moved off the net, for most people, it's a little bit harder to hit that line. So, like, cool, say awesome, and then use that cross, you know, like, buy into it. You know, don't resist the game. Play with it. Flow with it, you know. And I like this move by Lepke here because he makes an aggressive move, and then it keeps moving and just kind of, like, he's obviously maybe not perfect, you know, and it catches him high, but he just holds his, like, when he gets hit, he holds it. He's not moving still. You know what I mean? And it's not like he holds the angle because it's not a perfect angle. He realizes that. But, like, it's just a little feel thing. You know, he just lets it hit him. You know, it's nice. Oh, that's a really nice tip. Yeah, and, like, he hustles to get up there. Gets up. hits it to a really nice spot. Just because you can't swing doesn't mean you can't score. Like, you can still put them under huge pressure. Bentar almost gets that up, but he, like that, it was enough pressure to score. You know what I mean? Hopefully that makes sense. I can't tell if I'm just a motor mouth right now. But, yeah, ooh, that's tough. And, I mean, I don't know. That's a very rare situation, but maybe go backhand there. Whatever you're comfortable with. In those rare situations where it's just like, okay, this is not ideal. It's tough. Hey, this is a ball where it's super far off the net. Lepke just keeps it in front of him so well so that he's able to swing down that line. That's really nice there. You know, maybe I should watch film on the players that I'm playing against when I return home, when I return to Damon, just for practice. I'm going to watch film on them so I can just dominate these guys. No, I'll just play. I'll just have fun with it. Gianelli. I love how he finishes his hands there. I mean, Plotnytski obviously gets blocked here, but I really like how Gianelli sets this ball here. He runs towards it, gets his feet there, rounds it out, and then as he's setting, he's facing towards the outside there. And then he just finishes his hands straight forward. Especially with a team, if you're on a team where like your outside is your main guy or whatever, when you're setting, face the outside every time so that when you choose to set that guy, it's easy. And then when you choose to set someone else, it's deceptive, if that makes sense. I don't know. These aren't huge details. Most of the details with volleyball are going to score you like 5 points a game, you know, but it's just discipline. It's like those things add up, you know. Yeah, I don't know. It's really nice. Wait, is he over? Oh, Plotnytski stepped on the line there, foot fault. Oh, I just got chills. I just got the goosebumps. Whoa, that was weird. I love him being aggressive on the free ball, but that looked weird as heck. And again, if you're diving like this, try not to sacrifice the press. Because if you don't press enough, when it hits you, you're gonna get tooled, you know. So also having some like forward momentum with your hands, it also kind of affects the ball and affects how it's gonna go off your hands. Again, like this scored him 1 point, okay? Being able to do something weird like this scores him 1 point, you know, where he's facing here and then quickly changes and goes over here, Bentara. It scores him 1 point, and it honestly didn't even do that much. It honestly didn't. Like, Gianelli was still disciplined enough to just chill and wait to see what happens. But, yeah, I mean, those things add up, man. 1 point can turn into a little bit of confidence. Like, this is what I'm talking about, that principle of kind of, like, looking and, like, opening yourself up to the ball when you're hitting. Yeah, it just helps it. It helps that ball. It makes it easier for that ball to get in front of your right shoulder. You know, if your right shoulder's further back, then it's easier. Like, you have more, your window's bigger, pretty much. Quick hands. This is why you want to keep your hands separate and like disconnected while you're playing defense, but then it just kind of pops there. You know, just hits a little bit different. You know, it's a good move though. All right, Lube's gonna win this set here, the fourth set, but I'm not sure how. I'm not sure what's gonna be happening. Oh, hello, Bottolo. Hello, Bottolo. Love it. Again, deceptive. Something that's quick. It's deceptive. It's toward an angle. Smart. I love it. I like that. And again, with triple blocks, try to seal the line as much as possible. Because now Lepke and Bottolo have. I don't know if Lepke scored as well, but I think they both scored down the line against the triple block. So that's twice now that Perugia, at least twice now, that Perugia wasn't able to close that line enough on a triple block. Definitely not something you want to do consistently. And I feel like I don't know, maybe Lepke's supposed to take cross here, but I don't know. I feel like he could get his feet to that ball a little bit better there. Maybe I'm wrong though. Maybe I'm wrong. He jumped straight up and he left just the line. He left only the line, which is really nice. I don't know. I'm not sure. Not really sure what to think about that one there. He just popped it up a little bit too much. And like with a ball like this, where you're trying to sneak it past the block, having your hand right behind the ball is really important, because just in case that guy's able to reach over and get his hand on that ball, you can either push through, you can swipe, or you can reuse it too. So like having your hand directly behind the ball instead of under it gives you so much more control, instead of like giving up control and like saying, okay, I'm gonna do this, and then once I touch it, then it's just out of my hands. Like it's just up to chance. So like you want to just hold control of the play for as long as possible, if that makes sense. And that's why when you're tipping and it's tight to the net, just have your hand right behind that ball so you have control over it, and you can kind of make adjustments and make more choices after you contact the ball first at the first millisecond or whatever. Boom. I love this approach by Lepke. He gets himself outside the court and then jumps into the court here, and then he sees that ball dies inside and just continues to go. Because like on a tempo ball, like the tempo that they're running, the earliest time that he's going to see where that ball is probably as he's jumping. So like he needs to just jump into the ball. Like that's his adjustment that he can make. On a super high ball, he can genuinely like get his feet there. A middle, the only adjustment that they can make is with their arm swing and their body and how they're leaning and stuff, because that ball is super, super quick. But like a tempo ball to the outside, the only adjustment that they can make is like jumping right, left, forward, backward, straight up, whatever it may be, because that's just the timing of when they see where that ball is, All right, fifth set here. And yeah, I know who's going to win, obviously Perugia, I already said it, but let's keep track of how these boys play in the fifth set here. Plotnytski starting us off pretty hot. Dang, man. 2 aces right in a row. That's how you start a fifth set. Oh, is that a third ace? 3 aces in a row for the fifth set. Bro, and like, let's watch all 3 of these back, because he is not taking anything off of this. He's served so many times in his life, probably. He's going up, he's taking a rip, he knows what he can do, hits that back line. Goes up, takes it, rips, does pretty much the same thing, rips it again. Same thing, rips it again, hits that same spot as the first one. He's just going up and ripping. Because he's done his serve, just because the pressure's on doesn't mean he tries something different and gets all stiff. He knows what he's done his entire life. He knows how he served. He feels good with it. And he does his serve without having a bunch of pressure causing him to be stiff, okay? He doesn't, like, I've said this before, but, like, you don't practice. In practice, when do you ever practice just keeping the ball in play? Never, okay? You never do. So when you're in that pressure situation, trust what you've been working on and just do it. And then if you're able to do it and, like, it works out, then you're probably loose, you're probably doing it, you've probably put in enough work. But, like, if you haven't put in enough work, then, yeah, maybe there's a problem. Lepke swings out of bounds here. Yeah, and, like, let's see where he is on contact. Yeah, so he's in between those steps. And then he just doesn't get over top that ball enough. Like, look at how his arm's bent a little bit there. And then his hand is like a little bit under it, and then he's not able to get over top of it. Yeah, you want to be able to get on top of the ball or right behind the ball. Most of the time you want to be able to get right behind the ball, but then if you're Bentara, you want to be able to just bounce ski and just get over top of the ball. Like, look at how you can kind of see, but it looks like his hand just gets over top of that ball and just claws it, I don't know. We got 6-4, Lepke in there, ripping. It's a good serve, man. It really is. Very nice. Again, look at how he opens himself up. Look at how he finds that ball, sees where the pass is. He tracks it, And then as it's coming down, he sees where that setter is and just watches, opens himself up to the setter. Bang. Boom. He sees where the ball is. When he realizes where that ball is, that's when he feels comfortable going. I don't like this by Gianelli. I'm going to be completely honest. He gives up on the play, okay? He thinks it's down. It was down, okay? They challenged it. But, dude, don't stop playing. Okay, maybe go like this, challenge, so your coach knows. But don't stop playing because who knows? Maybe you see it wrong. Maybe you don't have a challenge anymore. Who knows? But, yeah, don't stop playing, man. I don't like that. Oh, what happened here? What happened? Bonifante. Is this Lepke late here? Is it? I think maybe Lepke's late there. I don't know. But that's another reason why I think a fast offense can kind of mess you up a bit sometimes. Is like if someone makes a diving move, they're just gone, like no longer an option because no matter how much they hustle, they can't make it on time. Like that stinks, you know. And boom, Lube subs out Bonifante here. Yeesh. And it looks like that's what his name is. What's his name? And Perugia's just taking it away now. Bang. Again, be aggressive on overpasses. Because look at have good enough footwork and aggression so that you can just jump wherever you are, take a swing. You know? Wow, 4'11". That's crazy. The height of Danny DeVito, I think. Maybe he's 4'10", I don't know. Yeah, and I don't think they use Chinyese enough. That's nice by Chinyese. Really nice swing by Chinyese there. Also, I have no idea if I'm truly pronouncing Chinyese's name right, but seems right to me. Look at how calm this guy is on defense, man. He sits in, gets hit. He sits in, gets hit. That's defense, man. And then he's mad at Ballo for not putting up a good ball. But panic situations like this, it's kind of a quick situation. He sets it with his platform, but he sets it super far off the net there. Dierlich has to just kind of roll it to the 6th spot there. And we're still playing. Good cover. Good cover by the middle there. Good swing by Ballo. Oh, did he get it? Oh my gosh. Okay, he didn't. Good rip. Who's this guy? Kanjadev. Oh, this coffee's getting cold. Yucks. Good move by Lucere there. Dude, and it's so quick, and he has to just hit a split step, and it's really quick there, so he just has to kind of go over and jump. But while he's jumping, he presses over the net and then finishes his hands as it's about to get hit. Really nice block there. I want to watch it one more time for you guys. And again, the timing of when he finishes his hands is just perfect. Okay. Okay, so it looks like they do a somewhat similar thing. Maybe they run it a little bit further. But I mean, that point of jump contact is kind of a interesting little thing, interesting little thought, you know? Whoa, out of system, Plotnytski lets it travel in front of him. And this is what I'm talking about, is he doesn't, sometimes you see players kind of force their arm over here and then jump like this, and then as they're jumping they turn. But look at when Plotnytski turns. And maybe he does it the same way. I don't know. Just look how smooth it looks. Look how comfortable he looks. Okay, he lets it be in front of him, and then he's turning his shoulders and looking straight upward. You know, letting it travel over top of him instead of forcing it to be in front of him to get in front of him. If that makes sense. You know. You need, when you're contacting, on your point of contact, the ball needs to be in front of you. Okay. But as it's traveling, it can be wherever the heck it needs to be. It doesn't matter. Let's see. Yeah. That'll happen. That'll happen, man. And with him, you kind of got to seal high line, or high anything, really. But it was a good game. Thanks for watching, guys.